Hi Cancer, this is your horoscope for July 2019. A little bit late, but still, I'm going to give you an indicator of what the rest of July is going to be about for you. Now, you guys had a total solar eclipse in your sign of Cancer happening in your first house of self, and that was a new moon and it interrupted the sun, so it kind of blackened out the sun. You could see it in the South Americas. Um, and that means, because of the interruption, that the energy of this eclipse is going to be with you for 6 months. And it was on the North Node, so it's about pulling Cancer energy in, which is your energy, into your first house. And it's got the sun and the moon in your first house of self. So the sun is your identity, it's what you're striving towards becoming. And the moon is what you naturally feel at ease with. So during the 2nd of July, you would have felt very much at ease. You would have felt very comfortable in your own skin. And you probably got good ideas of how to take care of yourself and how to take care of yourself moving forward. Continue to listen to those messages about how you can live your best life possible, how you can make things easy and simple and nurturing and fun and caring and loving for you and for other people, how you can connect with others in a loving, romantic way, and pay attention to your inner guidance. It's going to be really helpful. On the 2nd of July, also Mars, the male principle of drive, ambition, that went into Leo in your second house, and it joins Mercury at 3 degrees in Leo in your second house. So the ambition, the drive is about finances and how can I do something that's more enjoyable work-wise and that kind of puts me more in the spotlight and that uses me as the expert, as the person in charge, versus being behind the scenes in a cubicle, kind of doing what other people tell me to do. A lot of Cancers like being in the domestic sphere, not being in the limelight. But if you've got an idea that's really special and you haven't been given a chance to bring it to the world, all of us are alive during this internet global information age for a reason. It's never been easier for individuals to get their points across. You know, in 1900, you needed a publishing deal and you needed to be in with the right people. I'm sitting in my living room broadcasting to you guys all over the world right now. I don't need some 50-year-old white man's permission to do this. I can do this myself. Anyway, so you can do that for yourself as well. If you do have something valuable and meaningful that you want to share, that you really care about, please do it, because it's going to add value to other people and value to your own life. On the 4th, Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity, goes into Cancer as well, into your sign, and it moves into your first house. So this is your birthday month, but it's really the month of how can I love myself the most, how can I heal myself, and how can I surround myself with people who love me back. This is a chill, wonderful, easy month for you in the sense that I'm interested in making myself feel good and I'm not interested in the negativity. So please, my bubble, I want to stay in my bubble. Don't interrupt me and don't bring me stuff that's useless, that doesn't bring me joy or happiness. Now, tomorrow on the 7th of July, Mercury, the communication planet, goes retrograde. Okay, and that's in your second house of money. It's at 4 degrees in Leo, and Mercury stays in retrograde until the end of the month. Now, you get the usual shenanigans of Mercury retrograde with buses arriving late and letters not being posted on time and errors being made on tickets and people not meeting you or going to the wrong place. You know, communication issues and transportation issues are usually the things that are affected by Mercury retrograde. It's in your second house in Leo. So anything that involves you being in the spotlight, in the limelight, double check your facts. Like if you're doing a presentation, if you're pitching your business, like if you go to Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, as it's called here in the UK, like it's a show where you present your business idea to a bunch of rich people to get their investment, right? If you're going on a show like that, or if you're pitching an idea, make sure you really dot all the I's and cross all the T's to make sure that your presentation is correct, because there is room for error. And like one error is fine, two errors is fine. But if you're reading a book, and I remember I downloaded this book off Amazon. It was an ebook. It was someone who had self-published. And I'm reading this ebook, and within the first 2 pages, I noticed something like 5 mistakes. And I'm no grammatical genius, okay? English is my second language, but it really put me off. It's like, you didn't even read over your own stuff. Why should I read it? If you don't care, why should I? So just make sure that you try and keep the errors out of your work as much as possible so that you can thrive. We've got another eclipse happening on the 16th, and that's a partial lunar eclipse. So the moon is somewhat blackened out, and it's a full moon in Capricorn. It happens in your 7th house, and that's the important thing for you guys to know. I'll make a separate video on the full moon, but the 7th house is the house of relationships and other people, and it's surrounded by Pluto and Saturn in the sign of the worker, Capricorn. So it's about letting go of this tendency to work at relationships which do not serve you. On the south node, it's about letting go. It's an eclipse, so it's interrupted. It lasts 6 months. So you're able to nurture yourself. You've got the transiting midheaven, Venus, the north node, and the sun in Cancer in your 1st house versus this full moon in the 7th. So we've all made that mistake of, oh, I want these people to like me. I'm going to work to get them to like me. As soon as you have to work to get a bunch of people to like you, forget it. Friendships, romance, connection, chemistry, it's not something that you can create and force and work at. It's either there or it isn't. So if you feel like you have to work to be with the in crowd, or if you have a tendency to alter your behavior to fit in with a group, let that go and instead look more at who you are and what kind of person you want to attract into your life. On the 19th of July, Mercury retrogrades back into your sign of Cancer. And that's really a good thing. I mean, it's retrograde, so it's a little bit funky in its thinking, but at least it's in your sign. So you have the midheaven, the north node, Venus, the sun, and Mercury in Cancer in your 1st house. So the strongest element is water. You're really interested in getting spiritual, intuitive, kind of gut feeling messages about yourself. And the question is, who am I? And what kind of relationships do I deserve? And why do I take care of people who really aren't worth my time? So you have the ability to really change things around and to question, okay, I am of service. That's naturally what I do. But why am I doing it? And why am I giving it to people who don't even deserve it? And you just you wake up, you are woke, you wake, the blinders are off and you're like, this really isn't helping me. So I'm going to put an end to that. So that kind of sorting out, spring cleaning, summer cleaning happens till the end of the month. On the 28th of July, Venus moves into Leo in your 2nd house. Venus, the sun, and Mars are all in Leo now in this 2nd house of money, and you're really focused and you're sliding into August saying, how can I make money with something that I enjoy, that's fun, and that's going to give me a spot in the limelight. If you're a Cancer who's after the limelight, this is the time to really work up to doing it and to make a career happen that puts you in the limelight. If you're retired and you want to be well known, then what is it that you're working on that's going to put you in the limelight? I'm not talking to you here on YouTube because it's like, Gregory Scott, you care about me. I'm talking to you and you're watching this because it's about you. It's about Cancer. So what can you offer people that they're going to be interested in that puts you in the spotlight? What are people going to search for that's going to allow you to give them the answers? So ask yourself that and see what's the most fun way I could do that, and you'll come up with something great. Because all of that Cancer energy in your first house is really going to guide you intuitively. With 2 eclipses also, we have 6 months now where there can be real change in your life, like fundamental shifts in the way you behave, so make the most of that. Have a wonderful July. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the Readings tab to order your reading. I can answer any questions you may have. If you don't know your time of birth, I can rectify your chart to find that out. Love, romance, where the best place is to live. I can answer any of your questions. So if you have any, please go to the website gregoryscott.com and order your reading there. Have a fabulous July, or what's left of it, and I'll speak to you next month.